that the Dallas Cowboys are peaking at exactly the right time, and they start to look to me like a team that has the formula to do some significant damage, not only the rest of this regular season, but into the NFC playoffs. What do you think?
Well, I guess, Greeny, I got to respond to that with a question. The fact that you feel that way is supposed to ruin my Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Because you feel that the Dallas Cowboys are going to do that? I'm sorry, where's the evidence?
You're going to have to hear from all their fans, Stephen A. You're going to be hearing from Dallas Cowboy fans from now until the middle of January.
I got you. Oh, well, first of all, I always hear from Dallas Cowboy fans. The fact of the matter is, even when they're losing, I hear from Dallas Cowboy fans. You know we're going to win the Super Bowl next year, right? This is what I've been here for 23 years and counting. They've made the playoffs 2 of the last 8 years, Greeny. They've won 2 playoff games in the last 24, 25 years. I am not concerned about the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, the Redskins did show up. I didn't know they were going to forget to tackle. I didn't know they were going to forget to make plays. I didn't know how Clinton Dix was going to look as slow as a snail in the same vicinity as Amari Cooper. I didn't know these things, but they ultimately happened. Now, don't get me started with Josh Norman either. He can't be absolved from it. He's the big-time $75 million cornerback. You expect more from him, too. But with that being said, give Dallas credit where credit is due. Ezekiel Elliott running the football effectively. Amari Cooper looking every bit worth the first-round pick they sacrificed to the Oakland Raiders in order to get him. They deserve a lot of credit for that. But last time I checked, there is a schedule that still needs to be played. Who do they play this coming week? That would be Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. You know what? You got the Philadelphia Eagles that are going to be in a position to avenge their loss. And then after that, they've got Andrew Luck, who's been throwing 3 touchdowns a game over the last 7 weeks or so. I am here to tell you that the Dallas Cowboys, in all likelihood, will lose at least 2 of those 3 games. Come talk to me then, Greeny. Until then, I respect you. You're the ultimate professional and all of that stuff. But I don't give 2 cents about what you or anybody else thinks positively about the Dallas Cowboys. It means absolutely nothing to me. They will fall because that's who they are.
Lewis?
Well, Stephen, you know what? I'll tell you what. This is why they will fall if they do fall. They'll fall not because of the players that they have on the roster. I think they're good enough to make some noise. I think this coaching staff will be the downfall for this football team if they get away from what they have shown already to be what gives them the best chance to succeed. And that is this. Be creative on offense. Be varied on offense. Be run-centric on offense. Limit these high-powered offenses in terms of their possessions by possessing the ball more, which means do not forget where your bread is buttered, and that is with Ezekiel Elliott first. Now, I know you're probably going to laugh and say, well, they'll forget. They'll get away from it. They'll start doing the kind of things that they aren't supposed to do. Well, hopefully they have kind of learned their lesson, because I'll tell you this, as far as Amari Cooper is concerned, and look, there was a lot of people who went back and forth on that trade and went back and forth on Amari himself about whether or not he's a number 1 or not. Amari is a number 1. He is. And you know what? You know what will make him an even more effective number 1 is if the coaching staff is varied and creative, and they are consistent with how they use him in a varied and creative type of way, the same way that the top play callers in this NFL, the same way that they do it with their number 1s. So defensively, I think this team at the first 2 levels of the defense has all the makings of being a championship caliber defense. The secondary, we'll see. We'll see how they hold up in the back end, but I think this is a football team. Look, they are the Cowboys players themselves. They're good enough to make some noise. It's that coaching staff. That's what worries me.
Riddick.
That's what worries me.
Louis Riddick, I mean, you know, listen, man, this is me and you going at it on my radio show. You haven't learned. You just haven't learned. As brilliant as you are, and you are brilliant, you just haven't learned. I've tried to tell you this on many occasions. First of all, let's throw something out here. John Gruden's going to have some explaining to do. It's bad enough you have to explain about Khalil Mack. But if Amari Cooper keeps looking this way, another question mark on the coaching, on the return of John Gruden, the coach. But that's a different subject for another day. You just finished talking to me about the Cowboys, Louis Riddick, and you said, wait a minute, if they do lose, I mean, they've got the talent, Stephen A. So it'll be coaching. All right, well, it'll be coaching this year. And you know what? It wasn't getting Ezekiel Elliott the ball, which is somewhat coaching earlier in the season. And then it was Dak Prescott. There was question marks there. And then it's the Dallas Cowboys defense from a year ago or 2 years ago. Then it's eligibility issues because dudes don't know how to act. And I'm not going to this is a franchise that once had a guy get arrested for stealing cologne cologne and a pair of drawers from a department store. That's how bad it gets, okay? So somehow, some way, there's always something that goes wrong with these guys. All I'm trying to say to y'all is, look, man, they've invented ways to mess things up. Why should I believe it's going to be any different anytime in the near future? I expect them to mess it up just like they always do. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. Something will happen. You understand? Trust me on this. It's just who they are. It's who they are.
That's what I was waiting to hear right there.
Exactly what I was hoping for.